Hi friends, welcome or welcome back. My name's Nicole and this is the Guiding Arrow. I'm a tarot reader here to pretty much see what you got going on for a little bit, get you some advice, take a little peek at your situation. So we have pile 1, which is the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have pile 2, which is the Knight of Wands in reverse. And we have the Tower card for pile 3. Right. If you'd like to pause the video here, you can go ahead and pick your card and then we can go right into your reading. Alright, pile 1, you chose the Ace of Cups in its reversal. I typically get the spread ready and then perform the reading, but something creepy, not creepy, but like exciting happened. I was shuffling and I got the Ace of Cups in reverse regardless. So I was gonna pull your clarifiers like off camera, but to see that, I just, I kind of want to share this moment and experience to get clarifiers for your cards. So this is a pretty super synced reading. Oh, very lovely. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Alright. Okay, pile 1, let's see what your other clarifiers are. Emperor, the World, and then the 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay, I want to see if we can get just a little bit of more spacing here so you can see all of your cards while I walk you through your reading. Also, I typically want to advise anybody whenever you start taking readings online when it comes to tarot, if you're a little unsure or if you're wondering if things resonate with you, if you're sitting there trying to rationalize and put yourself into the reading, please understand that that is something that is more likely your anxious thoughts. So I just want to give you a small piece of advice. For some reason, like I'm being called to share this. A big thing to do is when you've been scrolling a lot or just like really receiving a lot of downloads, a lot of times, or just messages through like these readings here, it's also very good for you to sometimes take a step back, maybe not look at some readings every once in a while and just learn to trust yourself a little bit more and more, and start culturing that voice in you that knows. And try to, if it's a negative knowing, KNOW knowing, try to find ways to reverse that narrative. But also what I wanted to share was also ground yourself. Take a few moments to breathe if you need to. Pause the video here. It's totally fine. But like just drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, allow your lips to part ever so slightly, and just breathe. And reset yourself just for a few moments and give yourself that. I like to do the rule of 4. It's breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. I don't know why that needed to be shared, but it did. But yeah, so the reason why I thought it was kind of crazy, so I recorded all the little like, hey there, pile, and then that pile so that way I could just shuffle and get the spreads ready. I didn't have to like go fish through the cards. I know I was being a little lazy. But I thought it was kind of cool that while I was shuffling, your card came out anyways. It'd be interesting to see if the other piles do that too. I would get a little, not freaked out, I get really excited actually, because I love synchronicities. It's something that like makes my soul sing. So anyways, okay. Let's get into your reading. So you chose the Ace of Cups. And before we get into the rest of the reading, with the Ace of Cups being in reverse, this is a card, and it's like, I can feel that like you are pouring from an empty cup. There's a lot to say about not seeing the things around you because you're so focused on what's in front of you. But I can tell that like you've become so focused on everybody else that you've allowed yourself to run dry. And there's one thing, talk about like inspiration. I'm actually working on a few templates, one for tarot journaling, the other one is a basic needs checklist. And I really, Pile 1, it definitely seems to me that like you've become so focused on every other area of your life other than taking care of yourself. Which it's interesting because I can see you moving forward and starting to offer yourself more things, but like you never learn your lesson until you lose, if that makes sense. And the problem is that the more you throw yourself into burnout, the more crap you're gonna see. And I know that's not like the easiest thing to hear, but I'm more of a reader of honesty. I would rather tell you what you need to hear rather than cherry coat it. And I try to be nice as possible. I've seen some readers out there who are very like mean with their delivery, and that's fine, that's their style. But I think what you need to do, Pile 1, is to have some more discipline in moving forward with the way that you operate for yourself. Because the thing is, like, we have the Ace of Pentacles in the back of the deck, but we also underneath have the Six of Pentacles, which to me is such a huge card about you finally receiving what you've been putting out into the world. And there's kind of like a little bit of a blockage though for you to start receiving because you're so constantly focused on other things that are in front of you that you're not seeing the fact that like your cup is about to run dry. And burnout is no joke. Like the more you empty your cup to the point where it might possibly break is a much longer recuperation time. Actually, I think my roommate for this one, because she actually mentioned this like one of the first weeks that I moved in, where it was like we had this conversation and she was like, the more you perform to the point of burnout, the harder it is for you to get back to zero. So Pile 1, like, it's time to check in. Are you drinking enough water? You know, are you drinking your 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water? Are you getting the proper amount of sleep for your age range? You know, are you eating enough for what warrants the work that you do? I know it seems silly, but like you not being at baseline can have a lot of repercussions that can subsequently prevent you from moving forward or prevent you from getting hurt. Proceed to you getting hurt because you're not fully aware of all the things that can affect. Like, there's a lot of potential here to moving forward and like creating stable habits, and disciplining yourself to the point where like you don't feel like you're constantly being defeated in life. And like the things that worry you will start to melt away a little bit more and more and more because you don't have so many intrusive thoughts because you're taking care of yourself. You being in survival mode and you not standing in your power and being very erratic because of the way that you've been treating yourself is the reason why a lot of these like negative thoughts, and the reason why it feels like things just aren't feeling like they fall into place. And here's the thing, Pile 1, like, you learning how to get your mind and your body out of survival mode is going to bring so much fruition into your 3D, like your physical realm, right? Which is a beautiful thing that we all want to see, right? But like, it starts with you. Everything that you want to manifest, everything that you want to bring into your life starts with how well you treat yourself. And right now, it's very obvious that you have a cup that's borderline about to break. And you have to be very careful. And honestly, there's my head feels like it's going to explode. And let me tell you, I do not get headaches. I do get hangovers, but I do not get headaches. And the way I'm feeling right now and the energy that I'm channeling for my Pyle 1s right now, I'm feeling pressure. So if someone's pressuring you, Pyle 1, you might want to take some time to recuperate. Because the way you're operating right now is preventing, like, it was interesting to actually see the Page of Swords underneath the deck, because the Page of Swords is a very somewhat guarded, but in other cases quite a whimsical card. But you can see how he's kind of like defending himself a little bit, and it's just kind of like, it's giving me like, you're fighting fights that you don't want to fight, but you're only fighting them because of the situation and the way you've been taking care of yourself. You're allowing people who are constantly taking from you instead of surrounding yourself in a situation where you are also receiving care. And it's like, and it's interesting because this individual is typically what we're drawn to as readers, because there's like a scale imbalance, and then it's almost like he has this power over these people, but I feel like you're one of these people here who's like, it's odd because it's like, I'm getting that like you don't have the power over yourself right now, and like, I see that with the King of Wands here in reverse as well, where like you have the potential to be someone who's in power, and not just like being of service to others, but like being of service to yourself and allowing yourself to gift from the overflow of you taking care of yourself puts you in a position of power where you can help those. Like I read this, I think it's from one of my Abraham Hicks decks, but it's like this saying where it's like, you becoming poorer vibrationally, mentally, wealth-wise, or any of those things does not make another person richer. Like, all of us are meant to be, as a collective, abundant in nature, but like, you becoming a martyr and constantly like giving and not allowing things to come into you and receiving, it's making your life really difficult. Okay. All right, I want to use one of my oracle decks here that I have put away, and now we're going to slide it out ever so carefully. Ah! She says. All right, so I'm going to use the Sacred Forest Oracle. We'll see if we need that. We might not. Automatically in the back of the deck we have transformation. Yeah, something needs to change for you, Pyle 1. The way that you've been treating yourself, really, like, there's a potential here to really end the way that you've been operating, as long as you discipline yourself to take care of yourself. Because here's the thing, the only person who's going to rescue you from the way that you've been treating yourself is you. And another thing that you need to recognize is that the way that you treat yourself is how you show others how to treat you. So if you don't treat yourself very well, other people are not going to be treating you well either. And that's, that's fundamentally something that's within your control. So wouldn't you want to receive a bit more kindness by showing yourself kindness in return? You know, it does start with you. It's not a selfish thing. All right, so what is some things that Pile 1 has to look forward to when they start taking care of themselves? That's something Pile 1 has to look forward to. Yeah, all right. It's not even an if, it's a when. We have, yeah. There's no, okay, so I'm getting a very clear message, and this is not to scare you, Pile 1, but literally, like, Spirit is saying, it's like, if you do not retreat, shit's going down. If you are also drawn to Pile 3, you might have, I didn't record Pile 3 yet, but, like, this is reminding me of the Tower, and this is something I want to tell you about the Tower card. The Tower card looks scary, but the thing is with the Tower card, things that were not stable to begin with are getting demolished. And the way you've been treating yourself is going to get demolished. And you are going to have to learn how to start from the very beginning and build sounder foundation. So that way, yeah, okay, that's much better. Yeah, okay. Oh, I love that. So that way you'll have more play and freedom. Yes. All right, let me show you the cards that you have. And happiness at the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shrill at a level that dogs probably can only hear. But yeah, you have the elves with playfulness, which debatably I think would be more pixies, but that's okay. And then we have in the fairies. And we have the eagle spirit with freedom. Yeah, if you're having a hard time figuring out where to start, Pile 1, pull yourself out from a situation. Whenever I see an eagle, no matter what the messages might also be, but like I always think, like with an eagle or any type of bird, especially a high flying bird, it's always pull yourself out and take a giant look at perspective. Because ultimately this is going to lead to your happiness. And that is the goal, right? Is to be happy. And happiness does not happen once you achieve something. Your happiness needs to be now. Because if you're constantly going to chase and put conditions on your happiness, you're not going to see it. Because then you're just going to go and put more conditions on. And you deserve better than that. So, with love, Pile 1. Check in with your basic needs. Actually, you know, it'd be perfect right now is if I pulled the self-care oracle. I love this deck. I'm honestly, I think we're going to use all 3 of these for the rest of the readings. Oh, guys. Oh. This is like my favorite. Yeah. Soak in a bath and use your hands. Ooh, perfect. Okay. So, on top of, this is your homework assignment, Pile number 1. You need to, maybe this will get my ass in gear about sending out that template. You need to make sure you are drinking enough water. You need to make sure you are getting enough sleep. You need to make sure you are getting enough rest, which is not the same as sleep. And you also have to make sure that you are eating enough to warrant the amount of activity that you do. All right? You need to take care of yourself. Also, 15 minutes a day you should probably be outside. And just getting some air. Just go for a small walk if you can and if you're able. And then these are additional self-care things that you can do. Now let's get into them. Soak in a bath. So I love this because it's really reinforcing the rest. Let me show you. Yeah. And you can see our little feetsies there. So if you don't have a bath or you don't like taking baths or you're kind of weird about baths like me, I love the Japanese onsens for that fact, because they have tubs that are specifically for tubs and they don't let you in unless you shower, which I agree wholeheartedly. Don't do the public ones though, especially if you're an American who's overweight. It's it's an experience. Anyways, so soak in a bath, right? The number one thing about this card is the intention that you give yourself to gift yourself time for yourself. Is a lot of use, right? Because this right now, this is telling me you need to take better care of yourself. 1000%. Like, that needs to happen. Like, you need to take better care of yourself. And the beautiful part about this is, like, a bath has a lot more intention than, like, something like a shower. So this is what it's asking you to do, is to work a little magic of intention into more of your daily routine. So I would say everything I just gave you, it's not just a homework assignment. It's an intentional assignment to get you to be more present in your day-to-day to make sure that you are checking off all of your boxes. And I'm going to tell you right now, Pyle, as someone who had to who's been through this, let me tell you, it's a lot of work, but boy howdy, does it pay off. And the way that we take care of ourselves shows others how they should take care of us. And this is so, so true, because then you start coming into who you really are as a person, as a baseline, instead of someone whose needs are not met. So keep that in mind. And then use your hands. I love this because she's like creating. But the one thing I love, and whenever I give this card out, and some people are like, well, I'm not a creative. Everybody is creative. Every person is a creative person because we are creative beings. We were created out of, I don't want to get into it, but like, you know, there is power in anything you do. Doodle. Get any of this chaotic energy that is knocking you off your throne. But also, this is a really good, I don't remember who I got it from. I think it's like Art Therapy Boss or something like that. Sit with yourself for a few moments with like a piece of paper and maybe like some type of creative. It doesn't matter if you have kids. Grab some crayons, put some paper in front of you. Just give yourself just a few minutes. And, you know, kids have gone to bed. You know, if you have a partner, you know, you ask them for a few minutes. And you just sit down with yourself and kind of check in with your body and see like, okay, what's a little sore? What needs a little TLC? And then just kind of like envision in your mind's eye, don't try too hard. What is it? Like, what is that pain and what does it look like? And then to your best of your ability, you know, just try to draw it best as you can. I'll tell you, some of mine are crazy and they don't even look very well, but that's not the point. The point is to get it out, and then once you have that in front of you, take a look at it and then ask it just like, what do you want me to know? And you'd be surprised. And this can be with any type of creative outlet, you know. But I always visualization is so powerful that sometimes like our wounds and things that we're hurting or the things that like we want to work on can manifest visually to us in our mind's eye, and you can use that and any type of outlet to help you with any of this excess energy while you're sitting here and trying to figure out how to balance the scales. Start with your bases. Start with your basic. Your basic is so important. And then you can add these two. They're kind of like they're the toppings on the self-care sundae. But self-care is so much more than just this. But this is your first chapter and your first step towards this direction, Pyle 1. And you really, really, really need to give yourself these moments, because these moments are so important for you to get that right. structure and foundation, so that way you can live up to your truest potential of whatever it is that you want to do. But we can't fully live for ourselves if we're not taking care of ourselves. And if we don't take care of ourselves, like, especially if you have children, right? Like, you're showing your children to, like, not take care of themselves by you doing that. You want to become a beacon of the right ways of treating ourselves, because then you're also becoming a beacon towards the people around you. And we are not creatures of, and I can say this as a very stubborn daughter, we are not creatures who take kindly to words. We do so more by seeing action. And we develop these habits through there. So it's we have to be very careful, and we have to be very kind with ourselves and those around us to show each other how we should be taking care of ourselves. And honestly, like, if you have a family and, like, this is something that, like, you are struggling with and you want to get, like, the basics, make this a game, right? For the whole family. Just be like, okay, you know, and then whoever checks off all their boxes throughout the entire week, whoever has the most wins, right? And then it can be a little prize or something like that there. But, you know, like, these are fun activities that, like, you taking care of yourself should be fun, right? But it's also just, like, you should be taking care of yourself as a baseline. So that way it becomes second nature. And just recognize it takes 7 times to create a habit. So for at least a week straight, you need to be able to do and check off all those boxes. And then from that 7 days comes 7 weeks. And then by then, you should have this as second nature. So that way you can start focusing on the next level of taking care of yourself. Which can even be these, you know. And until then, like, I'm excited to see where you'll go and where you'll be, Pyle 1. Because this is an energy that, like, has a lot of potential. Because whether you like it or not, like, you can either take this advice now, or Spirit's going to come in with a 2x4. And I'm not trying to scare you, but I can tell you, as someone who has been on the other end of that 2x4 and has had to go through all of this, please take the advice now. Because the 2x4 sucks. Okay? My 2x4 ended up with a whole period of major depression and burnout, and it was one of the worst and best tower moments of my life. So take that with what it is that you will. But I highly recommend, don't wait for the 2x4. Take care of yourself now. Because a lot of beautiful things are going to come with you taking care of yourself. Ultimately, your happiness, which is, like, I'm so excited to see this. You know, happiness, the bluebird spirit. So this also might be a sign for you that you're on the right step if you see a bluebird, you know, or a high-flying bird. Birds might be a very big symbol for you to know that you're on the right path. All right. Well, if you've enjoyed this reading, thank you so much for being here, Pyle 1. Please like, share the video, and see if other people want to pick a pile and get some guidance to see what's to come. And if you enjoy my videos, feel free to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so that way you know the next time I upload a video. And yeah, so again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this reading, whether it is day or night that you're watching this, and I look forward to reading for you guys again soon. I hope you guys take care of yourself. I'm gonna be excited. I hope that some Pyle 1s comment, and then maybe a few readings down the line, you guys come back and are like, yeah, you know, took care of myself, or doing this stuff, you know, it'd be really exciting. I hope the best for you. Try the best that you can, and it's okay. Give yourself grace if you can't get it every day. Just do your best, little baby steps at a time. Okay, Pyle 1? I'm wishing you the best of luck. Good luck. Love you. Bye. All right, Pyle 2, you chose your Knight of Wands in reverse. Welcome to your reading. If I went ahead and pulled the cards. You guys actually got 4, and this is what are some messages that you can look forward to, and some things that you might need to know. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So it's actually interesting. So the reason why I'm saying oh wow with these two cards, so in pile 1, when I was shuffling, their pick a pile card came out in their reading. And I was kind of hoping for that for pile 2. But it was like every time I cut the deck, I saw the Ten of Swords and I saw the Tower. Every single time. And I was like, I wonder if these are going to pop out. And they did. So, synchronicities. We're here for them, always. But let me roll up my sleeves, because this reading is a lot, actually. So, pile 2. There, it's actually interesting because your Knight of Wands was in reversed as well. But we have a lot of forward movement, but there's some warnings that come with this forward movement that you should probably know about. But there's a lot of good things here. Especially with like the World card here at the bottom of the deck, a cycle is being completed. Oh, ooh, ooh. And the Magician card is on the underneath. So some things that you've been manifesting probably haven't been coming up the way that you've been wanting them to. And you've decided to move forward regardless. Now with the Two of Swords here in the Chariot card is a card, first and foremost, is very near and dear to my heart. If you're a Cancer, your card is the Chariot in the Major Arcana. And you've decided to focus on a balance that will move you forward. And I think that this is more of a balance. And if you have not, this is something that you should probably implement. There is this balance that you have chosen of like, because the Chariot is all about having this sense of duality, like having both sides. You know, you have the Sphinxes here that mirror the High Priestess pillars, right? Duality. And here with the Chariot, it's like when it comes to you manifesting and like completing like these trials and tribulations that you've been going through, because I really feel like you've kind of been like knocked out in the ring. I'm seeing like someone getting wailed on like in a boxing match. So it's like you've just kept taking the punches, and like there's it's the universe. It felt like the universe has been kind of like using you as a boxing dummy in the match, in the ring. And what I'm seeing is like you're balancing, and you've decided, or you should be deciding, hint hint, to balance out this idea of hoping and like surrendering and accepting the things that you cannot control, and then like doing more things that you love to then like create the manifestations that you've been wanting to create, and like closing out cycles that you've been wanting to close. And if you're sitting there asking me what cycles, this has a lot to do with like your wish fulfillment and your manifestations, and you being clear. The Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck in reverse as well. We have like the World and the Magician on the back of the deck. This is telling me that there's a lot of manifestations that are about to come up, because you're towards the end of that cycle of like, you know, I've been hoping and I've been surrendering. Like, where is it? Excuse me. You know, but you're finally, it's time for you to make that decision if you have not already done so. Because because you have the Nine of Cups here and you have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Nine of Cups here is a wish fulfillment, and it has to do with something that's going to last a very long time. And this is something that's going to come into the 3D, and like the word, if I were to ever associate a word with a card, legacy is always a word that pops up to me when I see the Ten of Pentacles. You know, like with this being upright, like there's family, there's familial like roots. I'm not saying necessarily family related, but I'm just saying like the essence of a Ten of Pentacles is this abundant nature that will like feed into for generations to come, whether that's you and your family, you or in your community, like however that looks to you. Like this wish fulfillment is coming in, and it is powerful. I cannot tell you, I'm feeling so many surges of energy. So this is such an exciting thing to like, thank you for letting me read this energy for you, and I'm very excited for you. The thing is, I don't want to have a but there is a little bit of a but. There's some housekeeping that's going to come up with your manifestations. And here's the thing. It's actually kind of exciting. But like a part of me, like, I wish that like this was here and then like, but it's not. So there's going to be, before I get to this, I want to go to this because the Ten of Swords looks really daunting at the end of a reading, with the Six of Swords being in reverse as well. There's going to be a moment, and I'm not trying to scare you, there's going to be a moment, probably like right towards the end, where you might have to sit in your shit for a little bit. I'm coining this phrase from one of my therapists. I saw a few months ago, and she was like, you know, it's a very brave thing to sit in your shit, honestly. What you have to come to recognize is that the things that it's going to be very tempting to replay old dialogues or old situations that have happened to try to prove that certain things cannot happen or cannot move forward. And what you are being told, and is very important for you to understand, is that the Ten of Swords is the dawn after the storm card, right? Like, we do see that this person is like lorn on the ground with all these swords sticking out of him. But if you look very closely, and also there's another deck that does this card and so beautifully, and it's always depictive of a dawn, but like, as you can see, like, after the darkness, there does come light. And the beautiful thing about the Ten of Swords is that you've gone through this. You've gone through this several times, right? But it's done. It's the end. It's the end of a cycle. It's the end. I don't, like, whenever I see this in a reading, I'm like, shit. And then I have to catch myself, because you're like, oh, okay. Like, it might be a little difficult to move forward, and that is okay. Give yourself some grace, but just know that, like, the dawn is coming. But it's, like, very interesting, because it's, like, you have all of this, like, forward moment, acceptance, like, a wish fulfillment of true foundation. And then it's, like, the way that this comes in is just going to shake you to your core. And the way that you perceive things, the way you react to things, and the way that you feel things emotionally, you're going to sit there and go, like, are you telling me I could have had this entire time, but, like, I've been the one that's in the way? And I think that's what's going to create this ruin, where you're, like, sitting here, like, you've got what you wanted. Like, you've been wanting this so much, and then, like, you sit there and you get it, and you're just sitting there going, like, are you telling me that if I stepped the fuck out of the way and, like, surrendered this entire time, I wouldn't have had to go through all of this to sit here and just get what I want? And it's going to be a crumble of a foundational belief or a limiting belief that has been pulling you back from your manifestations all this time, which honestly is so exciting. Because then you're going to learn, like, even after all of this, like, you need to keep in your heart and keep within you that, like, you can now manifest a lot easier. Like, yes, you're going to feel like you're at the bottom of another mountain, but please realize, Pyle, too, while you might be at the bottom of another mountain, you have more climbing supplies. and you have more knowledge of how to navigate climbing a mountain. So, like, you are not sitting here starting again and going, oh, well, now, like, now this is making me question all the things that I believed up to this point. And I'm also getting really drawn to, I just have this dice, like, sitting here, and it's like a D10, and it's on 9. Like, this cycle is going to be completed, Pyle 2. Like, that was just sitting there. Like, but, like, these things are coming to a close for you to start your next journey, to start, like, the world is the end of the major arcana. Like, this is time for you to really tackle each and every single one of these limiting beliefs and go, you know what, they're no longer serving me. It is time. I'm curious what you can do. I'm gonna pull, what can you do to get, I want you to move forward. I don't want you to sit here and fall back and have to take so much time to finally get the thing that you want. I know that the thing that you want might trigger you into, like, it might trigger you into questioning the foundations of your belief, which is a great thing. A lot of the times we are humans, we're adapt to change, but I want you to move forward. I want you to find the confidence to move forward in this and not just be like, God, this sucks. Like, I could have had this entire time, So, like, I'm curious as to what can Pyle 2 do? These two want to come out, to get this upright. All right, let's take a look-see, shall we? Oh, okay. I'm gonna, I don't know. Is this allowed? Is this allowed on... I don't think this is allowed on YouTube. This card underneath this is the card. I'm not personally afraid of doing it. I just started this channel back up again, so I don't want to get, like, flagged. But, like, his hand is somewhere, if you catch my drift. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that here. So, the card, right, is a huge nod to I'm like burping so much, which is great because it's like I'm channeling, but like your sacral chakra. So things that could definitely help get this upright, help you moving forward, is this idea of creation, pleasure, things that give you pleasure. Seek those things out. Write a gratitude list. Maybe like you've gotten your wish fulfillment, instead of sitting here and going like, and yes, this is going to like change everything that you've ever believed in, which is a very exciting thing. And I know it sounds super daunting, but maybe sit there and start writing a gratitude list of all the things that you want moving forward, and don't let any of these limiting beliefs hold you back, but write your gratitude list like you already have them, and then like start feeling that feeling. Sorry for that random pause. Okay, so writing a gratitude list. So this is a beautiful thing between the two, which can help you with moving forward from all of these things that might come up due to your wishes coming true. I can definitely feel like there's a lot of dissatisfaction with like there's going to be a moment where you might start beating yourself up, going like, I could have had all these things this entire time if I just got out of my own way, which can be said one of two ways, where it could be like, man, I could have had these things this entire time if I just got out of my own way. Or there's this, man, I can literally have whatever I want because I finally learned how to get out of my own way. And it comes back to this Chariot card, where life, it just needs to be a balanced decision of just accepting the things that are out of our control, and then choosing, and on the other side of our chariot, our other wheel, our other sphinx, is doing things that we love for ourselves, because that will then kind of like loosen our grip on the reins, right? Because then the things that are out of your control aren't necessarily on your mind and weighing you down so much, which is allowing you to have that freedom to surrender. And the beautiful thing about a gratitude list, what you can start with, because I know I started like, you can make a gratitude list of having the things that you want, in present tense, and like you write them like, thank you so much, universe, for, or whatever higher power you believe in. Thank you so much for, this new car I'm driving, like this is getting me exactly where I want to be. And then like you sit there and you're just like, oh yeah, like you imagine yourself sitting in the new car that you want, like, driving down the road in it. If you want to get into that mindset, go test drive your dream car, right? That's been like the biggest thing that people have a tendency to forget, and then just kind of let go and then use the lessons that you learned. But if you're having a hard time starting there, start with being grateful for this beautiful, like, yeah, you might be beating yourself up going like, ugh, like, I can't believe it took me this long, all yada, yada, yada. But like, here's the thing. You still got it. And I think that this gratitude list is also going to remind you of that. And also like you learning how to take pleasure in the things, because of the card that I can't show, because I don't... I'm sorry. It's a beautiful card too. Maybe I'll post it on my Instagram or something when I post the video, so that way you guys can see it. Yeah, that might get taken down too. I'll put it on my story. If you ever want to see it, just let me know in the comments, and then I'll try to arrange it so that way you guys can see it. Just be like, we need to see the card from the Self-Care Oracle deck. But yeah, so if that is a difficult thing for you to start with, right? And like getting yourself in the groove, in the zone, start making a gratitude list about your basic needs being met, about your fulfillments already, all the small little synchronicities that happen, right? Like, here's a really great example. One of the biggest things on my gratitude list, other than me just being alive, was I really wanted to learn how to play guitar. And I really was like, I reached out to one of my friends and they were like, well, I don't really know anything about guitars. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't even have a guitar right now to even learn. I just, was trying to, honestly, I was trying to spend more time with that person, but that's neither here nor there. But I just kind of let it go. And then randomly over Christmas break, my brother comes out of nowhere and goes, do you want a guitar? And I go, what? And he's like, do you want a guitar? And I'm like, okay, how much do you want for it? And he's like, no, do you want a guitar? And I was like, sure. So now I'm the proud owner of a guitar. Still trying to figure out how to play it, but it was just one of those things where like, I was like, oh, I could have had certain things all this entire time. I just had to not worry about it, And everybody's manifestation journeys and wishes journeys are different. So, take mine with a grain of salt if you would like. But one of the things on my gratitude list always is going to be that guitar, because it just reinforces the fact that like as soon as I surrender something and put my intention into things that I love and feed me to my happiness, then the things that are out of my control aren't that big of a deal, because I'm so focused on, raising my vibration of happiness, love, and joy for myself to then overfill that cup and give on to others, which is more of a Pyle 1 thing, so, bleh. But, it's always a good lesson to be reminded of. But I digress. Pyle 2. You have a beautiful reading here. I'm very excited for you. You have a lot of things to look forward to, and I know we like focus a lot on the bad stuff, but if you'd like, we can maybe get a little bit more information on this with fulfillment. Wish fulfillment. But yeah, I kind of want to snoop. I want to know, like, what is this wish fulfillment about? I mean, I know it's a super solid foundation, but what is Pile 2's wish going to be? If we get a mystery card, I'm going to give up. I'm going to be like, well, they don't want you to know. I mean, I probably shouldn't. I know. But I want to. And I'm so sorry. I don't know why. Is that Sum 41? I don't remember. Simple Plan? What is Pile 2's? Okay. Yeah, we kind of got told. Be patient. The Foggy Bog. Patience. So, as much as I would love to keep pushing this, I know for a fact that Spirit will not give us any more information other than you should be patient because what you want is coming. Okay. Well, I don't want to leave you there. What can... I don't want to leave you there with just that. Like, I know this is a very beautiful reading. I'm very excited for it, but I kind of want to give you a little bit more. What can Pile 2 be doing to take care of themselves in order to be more patient? How's that? It's like, instead of being nosy of what, let's just figure out how we can get you through this. And what you can do to take care of yourself in the meantime. So that way you're focused on something that you love, right? What is something that Pile 2 can focus on while they're waiting for their manifestation to come in? Oh, it might match with the card coming up. You might want to get a health checkup because you might be busy. Okay, thanks, Spirit. I appreciate that. Clean your space. Oh, I love this. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting giddy. I mean, while I joke about that, it's also, very, if you're manifesting like a physical connection or like love and you want it to get physical, it's probably a good idea to get a health checkup just to make sure that you're good, because one of the big steps of manifesting is, making space for it by clearing out the things that no longer serve you, which is clean your space, and also like take care of yourself, like a health checkup, like if you want to welcome more in your life, go get a checkup. And if you're under 18, you should not be watching this video. I'm just saying that right now. So off with you. But like that's a really big thing. Like, take care of yourself. Do a health checkup. In this meantime, take care of yourself. Again, doing things that take care of yourself through love for yourself will help you accept the things that are out of your control and surrender, so that way you can finally get your manifestation to come in. And I actually love the fact that like Spirit's really kind of not giving us the what is it, and just kind of like giving you small hints of like, hey, take care of yourself, reroute your mindset, like you can even do this gratitude list now. Like, you don't have to wait for this moment of like, ah, man, you can do this now. Like, the card, if you don't currently have a partner, these can, you can self-pleasure, or you can also, just like tune in with your sacral chakra, create more, paint, I was going to say use your hands, but I'm like, that kind of, okay. So, but yeah, so in the meantime, clean your space. Like, that's another thing too. It's like, if you're looking for company, you want people to come over, get your space ready for people to take up the space, So, yeah. All right, Pile 2. I think I'm going to leave you there because it definitely seems like Spirit doesn't want to give you much else about what it is, but it is coming, so I'm very excited for you. And please, like if this video resonated with you, comment, let me know, as soon as it happens, let me know when the wish came true. Or if you want, you can share your wish. And then share this video. See if other people want to pick a card, pick a pile. Liking this video will really help in boosting engagement with my videos. So that way I can go ahead and do these videos more often. So yeah, again, thank you so much for being here, Pyle 2. I hope that these, oh, sorry, I just saw the death card. I'm really excited for you. Death card and the Hierophant. Yeah, okay, so the death card, something's gonna change, and we know that. So, perfect. You got the death card and the Tower card, which for most people are the crunchy card. So, I think you'll be more than fine, though. You might just kind of have a, oh man moment, but write your gratitude list, get your head on, back onto that body, screw it tight-ish, or, you know, other things, and, you know, get yourself in the right mindset. I don't know why Spirit's just like, yeah, horny. And I'm like, okay, all right, thanks. But yeah, Pyle 2. This is going to be the second time I try to do this outro. If you enjoyed this reading, I hope you did, whether it was day or night, whenever you watch this. And I hope that you'll come back to the channel soon. Love you guys so much. Best of luck to you. I'm very excited for you. And yeah. Mwah. Bye. All right, Pyle 3. You chose the Tower card. This is your reading. Welcome. This is things that you need to know moving forward and things that you can expect to come. So, interesting. Okay. There's 2 here. Oh, okay. That is not now, Spirit. Okay. If for some reason you're asking about a connection, I know there's light at the end of this tunnel with the Knight of Cups here being at the end of the spread, but there is a lot of work to be done in order for you to get to this point. And it's interesting because I see the 9 of Pentacles on the back of the deck as the overall energy, and I know I started this as a potential. There's a potential for things to happen the way that you want them to, but there might require some sacrifices, and I don't agree with relationships that are based off of beginning sacrifices. That's just a personal thing of mine. I'm just going to try to space these out so that way you guys can see all your cards. The reason why I say this is because I'm just downloading a lot of stuff right now, and it's interesting because you quite literally have the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Cups, which is a lot of emotions. And you have the 6 of Cups here too in reverse, and the 4 of Cups. So there's a lot of emotional integrity within whatever this situation might be, but I'm gonna go in and kind of tell you guys what I see, and then you can apply it to your situation, because I am getting very heavily, and it's interesting because you pick the Tower card, and the thing is with the Tower card, anything that did not have a solid foundation, it's gonna go. Like, things that were not meant to stay, the Tower card is that jolt that will shake anything that's not stable, and it will come crumbling down. If you're drawn to Pyle 2, you can, but I'm going to tell you the energy between this reading and Pyle's 2 reading, completely different. You don't want to hear about this part. Like, I have, like, you are so focused on, like, oh, what's coming in. You need to do the work in order for you to get to this point. And it's also, this is giving you like a lot of like, you need to own your own power in order to attract the thing that you want, which is going to come with some homework. There is, the thing is, with the Five of Pentacles here at the beginning of the reading, clarified with the Six of Cups in reverse, this is telling me that this is actually some pretty good news that you want to stick around and hear before you get to the end, right? You're coming out of this mentality of past, I keep hearing relationships, so I guess this is a relationship reading, or growth or healing journey. Your past relationships, you're starting to heal a lot of it, and you're no longer playing the role of being the victim, like things are happening to you, and you're starting to recognize that. But that didn't come without a lot of work. There was a lot of times where you're just holding on to the past and like having a really hard time, like accepting the fact that like, yes, these things happen to you, but they happen to you so that way you could grow. And that does not mean that if you went through the abuse, you deserved it. Please understand that is not what I mean whatsoever. This is more so that, like, I'm getting the wounded healer archetype. Kind of like, you hurt so you can heal. I don't know why that's coming through. But I can sense that you've been through a really low, and like you're coming out of that, and like if you haven't, like, please understand, Pyle, like I'm gonna give you such a big hug. Like, it is not easy, especially when you've gone through a lot of stuff, to not let it keep you down. Because when someone hurts you on a soul level, it hurts, and it is so hard to heal, and you're doing it, and if you're not seeing it right now, please know that you will, because there's a time that's coming. It's very exciting because you have the Hermit here in reverse, where it's like you've done the searching, you've done the healing, you've taken yourself out of the equation from all these other situations or whatever has been hurting or sitting on your heart, and you've come out of it a much more hopeful person, because you recognize, like, I've done all this healing, like I can really make a difference. Like, you know, there's a lot of youthful, dreamy, joyful energy that like wants to come through and wants to be a part of your life, and like you're finally allowing yourself to light not just your way but others as well. But it comes with like a lot of you not just focusing on what's in front of you anymore. Like, you're recognizing that there is it's just odd, because it's like you have this Four of Cups energy in reverse, which sometimes honestly it's better to have in reverse because it's a complacency energy. So it's like you are coming out of a complacent energy of like, well, these things have happened to me and like I'm over it and all those other things, but it's like you've learned, it's like you've learned to be grateful for the things that have built you up to be the person who you are today, which is going to spark a whole new, like, passionate approach to the way that you approach the situation. And it's going to create, like, anything that was stagnant, it's going to flash fire and be like, nah, it's okay. Like, if that thing's not moving, all right, next. Like, what are we doing next? Like, there's what's new, you know? And I know that like that's what's going to kickstart this energy to the Knight of Cups. Like, you embodying this idea of gratitude, embodying this idea of like, you know what, it's okay. If that wasn't meant for me, and this is like kind of like, this is stewing in a way that I don't want to interact with it. All right, what's next? You know? And that dedication to yourself and like that gratitude and all this work that you've been doing, Pile 3. Yes, you may have picked the Tower card, but the beautiful part about it is that you're going to recognize when the rubble is clear and the dust is cleared off, like there's still, yeah, there's probably going to be fixes that are going to need to be done from all the wreckage that has been going on in your life. But the beautiful part of it is that you're going to see that like, oh wait, this beam is still up, or like this beam of self-assurance is still up. It might need a little bit of patching up, but it's going to be okay. Like, oh, you know, my roof of taking care of my needs has a little bit of a hole in it instead of the whole roof being gone. You know, we can just patch up a few things here and then, you know what, we're going to be okay. And it's like the more, and it's like, this section here is of self-assurance. And it's really a beautiful thing to see where it's like you're grateful. You might notice some things that are stagnant or some things from that like Tower moment that like came through and just like was shaking you up. But then you were like, you know what? This stuff isn't working. So we're going to clear this out and I'm going to focus on this direction. I'm going to go this direction. And it's like the more you navigate the situation, the more you're going to, I'm not trying to say attract a person, but like attract opportunities that are going to help you in situations that will help you trust your intuition more, help you navigate conflicts a lot better as well. Like, here's the thing, the Five of Swords is a conflict card, but it's much different than the Five of Wands, where it's like the Five of Swords is about you won, but what did you learn? Like, because it's like you won, but like you also got scathed in the fight kind of thing. Because if you look at his face, like he's happy he won, but these other two are like over it. And then it's like you sit there and you're like, well, if you guys were friends, I don't think y'all are friends anymore. And with this Queen of Cups energy here, clarifying the Knight of Cups, this is an offer that you're gonna know isn't gonna be stagnant. So like, that's the one thing I want you to understand with this self-assurance here is like to recognize that like things that are meant for you are not gonna pass you by. So that's what builds this budding reassurance of like, no, it's okay. Because intuitively you're gonna know who this person is. Who this like romantic person who's built up a lot of, like, the thing is with the Knight of Cups, and the reason why I enjoyed the Knights of the Suites or the court cards more than anything else is because knights have to work their way. You know, there's obviously exceptions and people, money and etc, yada yada yada, but my interpretation of it, right? Knights have to start as pages to become knights. So this is not some like dreamy-eyed person who's like, you know, like, I kind of like you, take my cup, right? This is someone who has been working at this, who's like, you know what, I really want to come up. Now, it might not be as, I don't want to say solid. It might not be as surefire as a Knight of Pentacles, but this is a knight nonetheless. This is someone who's really worked their way up to identifying their feelings to then come and offer something to you. Because, like, look at this. Like, you have him, like, staring at you. And, like, this entire journey, Pile 3, is not about you finally being lovable. You're lovable already. But it's more so you growing. To recognize, like, even And I'm not trying to say even if with this Knight of Cups, but I'm just saying, like, this self-assurance is going to change your game to make you into this, like, Nine of Pentacles, beautiful, independent, you know, like, abundant person. You have all these grapes here as well. Also, like, I love, like, every time I keep shifting the cards, like, yes, there's the Magician. So manifestation, but we have the Six of Wands here, which is victory. And I think, like, the most important part for you to understand about this victory is that it's not about you finally being worthy of having somebody to come up and offer something to you. It's about you understanding that no matter what you go through and no matter what hell you've been through, no matter what, you are going to be okay. And you've learned a lot from your past. You've learned a lot. You have marinated in the things that have happened to get you to this point. But it's also, like, revived your love of life to, like, inspire you to get to this point where you're like, either way, I'm going to be okay. It doesn't matter. Like, stagnant energy, you're not giving back the things that I'm giving. You know, like, things are slowing down and, you know, this doesn't feel right to me. All right. What's the next thing? And this doesn't have to be with people necessarily. You can just be following your heart of, like, what you want to do with your life. And then maybe something that emotionally fulfills you comes up. You know, this doesn't necessarily have to be about love, but there was just a lot of downloads for it, so I had to say the thing. Say the things. But yeah. So I would like to see for Pyle 3 some things that they can do to help them, honestly help them through this journey here as well, but like to what self-care things that you can embody in order to further solidify this independent energy. I love that. Ooh, a massage. All right, anything else? Of course. Beautiful. All right. I love how, like, every pile's been getting 2 self-care oracles. Beautiful. All right. So, first things first, we have massage. So yes, obviously you can go ahead and get a massage, but this is also a very good card of checking in with your body. You know, are you sore anywhere? You know, are you into energetic healing? If you're energetic healing, like if your feet are sore, right? That's your root chakra. Like, what healing stuff can you do to heal that particular energy for you, if that's your cup of tea? You know, this can also just be a check-in with your body. Like, are we getting enough sleep? Are we getting enough rest? Are we eating enough, right? Like, if your stomach is sore, like, what have you been doing? Have you been doing too much exercise? Do you need to rest? And then you have positive affirmations, which I love this card. This is a beautiful card. Positive affirmations, right? So, like, this is speaking beautiful words to yourself, because even when you make self-deprecating jokes, your body, your soul, your mind, everything, it listens and it responds. So if you keep saying how shitty your body is, your body's going to believe it. So you need to start talking more kindly to yourself. And it's very apparent that, like, it's very apparent that you've learned a lot of these lessons, but I think that this is a really good reminder for you to just check in with your body more often and also reassure how beautiful you are to yourself. Because a lot of times we need this reminder of we can only love people to the extent that we love ourselves. So if we do not love ourselves, it's very difficult to find a love of that level and caliber, because we're not opening ourselves up to it, because we're not even treating ourselves with that level of respect and love. And you said, like, for me to keep saying that worthy of love over and over and over again, I'm curious if that is something that's one of your limiting beliefs when it comes to, like, interactions, connections, or anything of the sort to come in. Like, maybe I'm not worthy for the job that I want, or maybe I'm not worthy for the relationship that I want. Maybe I'm not worthy of this money at all, or maybe I'm not worthy, blah, 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 blah. Like, if that is a limiting belief, that is something that needs to, that needs to be one of those old past things that need to get let go of. And you need to be way more active when it comes to you honoring the fact that you are worthy now. You're not worthy when you get to a certain point. You're not worthy when you get to the self-assurance part. You're worthy of love and connection and everything you could ever want now. There's no deserving of anything. Your happiness, your joy, these are things that you are deserving of, and it is your birthright. I know I just said deserving, but like, you don't have to work to deserve this. You just existing is more than enough. And if anyone has made you feel other than that, first off, don't tell me who they are, because I'm going to tell you. I'm part of me's not above hexing anymore. But what I will say is that you are a beautiful soul who, just by being born and going through the traumatic happenings of life itself, of being born, that is more than enough justification for you to pursue happiness. And I really want you to understand that more than anything else. Because this offer, I kind of want to get more information on this offer. I want to know. I want to be nosy. What are some things? You know what? Maybe we won't be so nosy about. I just want to give you some hope. What are some things that Pile 3 can look forward to as they go through this healing journey? Can we give them some hope? Some love? Like us giving you love, you know. What are some things that Pile 3 can look forward to on this healing journey? What are some things that... Ooh. Healing journey. Oh, I love that. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So back of the deck is the unicorn. I love that. Oh. Let's see. Can you see it? Kind of. All right. So then we got... Let's go in order. Shall we? So you have the things that you can look forward to is flow, the meandering pathway. Oh. This is... Okay. All right. Yeah. Before I get into it. Pegasus transcending and reflecting pool stillness. So it's interesting because like these came out this way. I'm gonna put this here because this is kind of like retelling the reading, but like in a different way. Like reflecting pool stillness. So this is this time that you've been like sitting here and like healing, and then finally it's like there's flow. Like things are going to be flowing a lot easier in your life the better that you start recognizing that you're worthy of love, which is going to transcend you into this state of being where like here's the thing, like you have this meandering pathway of flow where it's just like you go, like there's this beautiful path where it's just like you're just following and you're like, and it's this energy again of like, you know what? I'll be okay no matter what. We're just going to go with the flow. And that's why there's so many cups. Because the cups is the sweet of water. Which is interesting because you have like a lot of air too and fire. Actually, you have all 4 of the elements with earth here too with the pentacles. So it's like things are coming in full circle the more that you stand in your power. And it's like, it's not even like this fiery Queen of Wands energy power. It is this 9 of Pentacles, like abundant and just like you follow the path that your heart takes you on. You know, however that might look. It doesn't necessarily have to be love. It can be like things that make you happy. The things that like really just follow that. And a lot of beautiful, fiery, passionate opportunities are going to be coming your way. And it's really going to show you how far you can go. Not just with this opportunity, but just with like, the more you do the things that make you happy, the more aligned, more joy, and more pure you're going to feel to yourself. And that type of purity is unrivaled, because sitting here and reading for you guys, I trust me, Pyle 3, like I've been in your shoes, and it's sorry, my roommate's cat is like meowing like crazy, which is a confirmation. But it's really going to show you the heights of which you can achieve. And you're going to really wow yourself. And it's going to be a nice still, honestly, like I know I was moving this here, but it's like all of this energy of like flowing is going to allow you stillness, which I feel like that's something you haven't experienced in a very long time. So I'm very excited for you, Pyle 3. I'm very hopeful for you. I hope that this message not just resonated, but gave you some hope. I know that it's not easy, but I applaud you for being here. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you are going to come into this. Like, the more you heal, the more you align, the more you follow the things that you want to do for yourself, the more beautiful things will come your way. So if you like this reading, feel free to leave me a comment, like this video, share it, see if other people want to pick a pile and receive the messages from there. But more than anything, I hope you take care of yourself. I'm wishing you all the best, and I hope you enjoyed this video, whether it be day or night when you have watched it. And I'll see you in the next reading.